What is going on, everybody? We're back with the YJ, the tops on it. Don't get me started on the ordeal that was. But today we're going to be actually adding a little bit of color to this thing. But the big project for the day is going to be the car stereo, because last week we were able to get these Sony 4x6s in the dash, and you know, it's a little bit of an ordeal. And this weekend what we're doing is we're going to fill that hole with the stereo, and we're going to throw some 6x9s in the back too. So what we've got, I picked this Boss 616 UAB. It's just a Bluetooth receiver. There's no CD player or anything like that. I got this on Amazon Prime Day for 23 bucks. I think they're usually around 30. It may have been even a little bit more, but I think you can usually pick these up for around 30 bucks. We're going to try this one. I've not used any of these Boss systems before. I've tended to use the cheap duals that you get from Walmart, but we're going to try this Boss out today. And I was going to try the Scosche speakers, but since I've already got Sony's in the front, I figure we'll put some Sony's in the back too. So we might as well. I got some 6x9s, and they're 4-way 6x9s. Hopefully they'll sound pretty good. I don't know. They're like 65 bucks at Walmart. Can't really complain too much, and I don't really want to put a ton of money into a stereo system just in case it gets rained on and all that kind of stuff. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and we're going to hardwire this stereo in. And the reason is because I'm cheap and I don't want to go out and spend 10 bucks on a plug, and because I'm running all new speaker wire anyway. So all we really need to do is find our hot, our keyed hot, our constant, and our ground, and I'm running brand new speaker wire for the rest of it anyway. So all I've got is really 3 new connections, and I've got the plug there. So I'm going to test all that out. We're going to make our connections with the stereo, and we'll pull that stereo open and just take a look at it and see how it looks, what kind of quality we're looking at, and then we're going to go ahead and wire up some tunes. And I've got a little bit of a special custom deal that we're going to be doing with the 6x9s, but I'll show you that in a little bit. Okay, let's get this stereo open, and we'll just do it right here on the Jeep. Might as well, right? So I have not opened this up yet. So you've got your stereo harness plug. So this plug here is going to be for our speakers, and then this plug here is going to be for our keyed hot, our constant, our ground, and the blue wire is going to be for an amp if we decide that we're going to run an amp, or you know, back in the day that would have been for a power antenna, but I don't think anybody has any power antennas anymore. And it's actually even got a remote for 23 bucks. Can't beat that. And here's the star of the show. This is the dual 616 UAB, and I don't know, doesn't seem too bad. Buttons feel good, clicky. Got some nice clicky action here with the volume knob and whatnot. So we've got an auxiliary in, which is going to be good because we've got another surprise coming up in another video, and we're actually going to be using this auxiliary input. And we've got USB, and I believe that will actually charge your phone as well, but don't quote me on that. But should have a microphone built into it, so if you need to make a hands-free call, this is Bluetooth. And if you need to make a hands-free call, it should work. We'll go ahead and test that out at some point. And it's a real slim, thin design. So on the back, we've got 2 sets of RCAs, so that's kind of nice. We've got right and left RCAs. And some of the cheaper units are only going to come with one set. There's your antenna in, and obviously that's your spot for your wiring harnesses. Now this is a little off center. I kind of, I'm not really surprised about that because it's a cheap stereo. But got our mounting plate, so we're going to go ahead and get the mounting plate in there, and I'm going to go ahead and get the wires done, and we're going to jam this thing in there and see what it looks like. Get the front speakers hooked up, and then we're going to go and tackle the back, which is going to be a little bit of fun. Actually, I'm pretty excited about what we're doing with the back speakers. So these 6x9s are going to have a cool new spot and kind of sort of custom, I guess. So let's get to it. Okay, it's the next day and I got the stereo in, and man, that thing fits in there really nice, and it sounds really good, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not an audiophile, but I do like my music, and what I don't like doing is spending a ton of money on a stereo that could possibly get damaged because of water, because it's a Jeep. But even with just the front speakers, I had just the fronts going yesterday, and it sounds really pretty decent. I mean, it doesn't sound great, but it sounds good enough for this old 30-some-year-old Jeep. So I got that in, and let me show you what I did for the back speakers. So I had some options. I knew I wanted to go with 6x9s back here, but I would have to put them in some 6x9 boxes, and those run about 50 bucks plus the speakers. And my buddy Sam he came over, and he had in his Jeep TJ, let's see, Jeep, what this is, and I bought this off of him for 40 bucks. And what this is like a little locking compartment. So when you've got your tailgate shut and locked, you've got a little lock. This is locked. You can't get in there. So what I did was, ta-da, I just cut some holes in this thing, and now I've just made my own little speaker box, and it's functional. So takes two little tabs here, and that lifts up. Look, it's even got, that's cool. It's got some little drink holders on there. But yeah, I threw those Sony 6x9s back here, and then of course screwed this to the wall of the Jeep, so it's not going anywhere. I've got a little bit of security even when the top's off. I've got a place to, throw some tools or whatever back here. I still I'm gonna zip tie these speaker wires up so that they're a little bit more out of the way. But yeah, it's pretty sweet. I really like this. I've never seen one of these before. I'm sure you Jeep people have, but I hadn't, and that's a good spot for the speakers. I'll show you what they look like from the other side. So that's it. That's what I'm dealing with. If they get wet in the pouring rain, I think we'll be okay. They're not sitting straight up, so I think they'll be able to dissipate a little bit of water. And I think they turned out pretty good. The Sony speakers, the box had a template on it that you just kind of cut out, or it's perforated, so you just kind of pull it off the box. And so I just used the template and just kind of eyeballed it, and I think they turned out pretty good. So let's go ahead and get the stereo fired up. I'm going to show you how fast it connects to the phone, because I do use Bluetooth. That's how I get my music. And I'll give you my thoughts. Okay, stereo is off, ignition is off. We've got YouTube pulled up here, no copyright background music, and yes, I am subscribed. Wonderful service these guys have got going on here. So we're gonna pull up cool track guitar riffs for energetic sports videos and copyright free blah blah blah. So I'm gonna show you how fast this stereo will queue up. and link to my phone. So just gonna turn the ignition on. Boom, stereo comes on, linked. That is lightning fast, guys. That is really fast for something that cheap. And we got the music playing already. Copyright free, of course. I gotta say, the sound quality coming out of this is not bad at all. It comes with a few preset EQs, so you've got, you don't have any ability to do a custom EQ. You can, obviously, you can just do your normal bass and treble if you want, but it's got like rock and classic and flat and a couple other ones, jazz, I think, just your normal. And I've got this one set to rock because that's what we like to do, man. We like to rock. But I'm really pretty impressed. I think it looks good in the Jeep. Doesn't look out of place. It's cheap enough to where if somebody stole it, which I don't know why they would, but if somebody stole this thing, is that still a thing, stealing car stereos? I don't know. Anybody even use single DINs anymore? I do. But that's what we got going on, and I gotta say, the speakers back there are really nice sounding. So we got Sony speakers throughout the whole thing, and maybe we'll get a sound bar at some point, but no amp, just running off the stereo. Sounds good. I'm pretty impressed. So thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you watching. If you enjoy this kind of content, consider giving me a thumbs up, comment, consider subscribing if you would. That really helps out the channel. The comments are huge, so let me know what other things do you think we need to be doing to the Jeep. I'll give you a hint on something that's coming up. That's all I'm gonna say. You guys have a good one. Catch you later. Me and Dex, we're out.